Hi guys, it's Saturday night, or Saturday morning, I'm sorry, here in Manila, so it's probably Friday night for you guys. I'm doing something a little different for the free-for-all weekend. I'm going to give you guys a look at my display case as promised. This is an ongoing thing. I kind of change it around quite a bit, but this is the final setup for right now, at least for the next couple of months. It has mostly all chase cars on a couple of the shelves, and then top shelf is mostly vintage racing stuff. Bottom shelf is a mixture of stuff, and then on top, it's kind of like a shelf the way my wife had it made. So we could display stuff on top. Yeah, and by the way, she had this made for me a couple Christmases ago. She used to work as a data entry person at some plexiglass company, glass place, and they do plexiglass cases, real glass cases. So she had this made for me because we were running out of shelf space, so this helped quite a bit. And the way she had the top made, it kind of works as a shelf. You don't have to worry about things rolling off. The way she had the sides brought above the top of the cabinet and tapered a little bit, and then it's also got a back wall behind those cars. So it's really nice how she had it done. And sorry about shaking. It's usually my camera's on a pedestal to do the videos so I can eliminate any shaking, but today it's kind of going to be like freestyle. So anyways, this case usually has doors on the front of it. There's the doors, but to be able to see it better without glare, I had to take the doors off. Plus the doors are starting to get some scratches on them from opening and closing it so much. So anyways, we'll take a look at the top first. On top here, we have pretty much all Mopar with some JDM stuff. The Mopars are mainly Daytonas and Chargers, Superbirds, some Roadrunners, and then my modern Mopar stuff, all my Challengers and modern day Chargers. Then the Euro, the Porsche is up there. Let me get a closer look in here, and then there's the Mini GT, JDM stuff, the green light JDM car, which you guys seen in some videos. A lot of these cars you guys probably have seen before. And then above it, I have some of my carded stuff hanging. That's all racing stuff, pretty much. Some vintage racing, some Hot Wheels Hall of Fame, drag strip demons, and some Ford racing. Those Ford racing ones are pretty cool because every one that Hot Wheels made was labeled as a Mustang, but it's actually a 64 Ford Thunderbolt in those packages. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's why I haven't opened them yet. And then over here you have the first gen Charger, which is 68 to 70. Only 168, as you guys seen those in a previous video. Then all my first edition Superbirds on the back row, and then in the front row there are Daytonas with one race Superbird. Then the new Team Transporter we opened a couple days ago, maybe a week ago. And then there's the Roadrunners, first and second gen Roadrunners. A 64 Dodge Melling car from last year. And then Chargers from Green Light, Daytonas from M2, and then a Hot Wheels Speed Machine Viper, and then all Green Light Challengers, except down here you have two Kyoshos, and on the very bottom you have the Hot Wheels Retro Entertainment Fast and Furious. So that's the top shelf. The Terminator Monaco pulling over the Porsche with the hot girl driving the Porsche. And occasionally I'll put some decals or cardboard cutouts from packages I find interesting that look good on the case. I'll stick those on that. And then like over here on the side, I've got some other ones. And I got that sticker from one of my buddies, caution, do not touch, my models may cause injury. And it's got the guy hitting the other guy with a baseball bat. So, and then you can see down the side here, just kind of give you a rundown of everything. I use those like PVC, I guess I would call it, like brick rods. It's kind of the same plastic the blisters are made out of, but a little thicker. to display the cars in. It's really handy because I can stack them up the sides like that. I can usually go 6 high with the small ones, and then 5 high with the bigger ones. So let's go ahead and go inside. This top shelf is nothing but race cars. As I said, I'm a big vintage racing fan, and this is all drag racing, Trans Am, and NASCAR. So yeah, I don't really have anything modern. Maybe a couple of Earnhardt cars and dragsters, like NHRA Top Fuel cars I have in my collection. I don't think they're on this shelf, though. I don't think there's anything newer on this shelf than like 1987. So yeah, in the back, it's like drag strip demons, vintage racing, some 100% cars, some Johnny Lightning, some action, M2, and pretty much everything you can think of. Auto World. So yeah, that's one of my passions, these vintage racing cars. Then I have a couple of the ramp back trucks from Greenlight, the Chevy and a Ford. And then the Cobra is really cool. That's actually a motion prepped Cobra, which usually Baldwin Motion is affiliated with Chevy, but this is actually when Motion Performance was separate from Baldwin Chevrolet, and they were doing pretty much every kind of car. They've done Oldsmobiles, and Oldsmobile is a little more acceptable because it's an affiliate company of Chevy through General Motors, but Ford, Shelby, kind of a little bit strange, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's a drag racing Cobra, most for road course type things. There's a Hot Wheels 100% dually with a 5th wheel trailer from Greenlight, hauling both Sox and Martin cars. So yeah, as I said, like in other videos, it would be hard to explain everything. It'll take me an hour, probably a couple of hours to explain in detail. This is just to give you guys a quick rundown on how I display my cars, and as you can see, it's packed. I have no option to put anything else here. So now going down to the second shelf, and it may get a little darker because the lighting in this room is not so great, but every single car you see here is a chase car. Whether it be a Green Machine, an M2 Chase or Super Chase, Auto World, Ultra Red, Mini GT Rawls, and then Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunts, and a couple of older rubber tire treasure hunts, things like that. So yeah, everything on this shelf is a chase piece, and I think there's 107 chase pieces altogether. If you include the 5th wheel trailer up there, it's also a Green Machine. It came with that Ram, which I'll be doing a video on that in the future. I haven't done one on it yet. But most of these you've probably seen in some of my chase videos. The front row is the ones that I kind of favor the most. And White Lightnings are in here too. So yeah, it's pretty much all chase stuff. And then you go down to the third shelf. This used to be dedicated to G-bodies. The whole back wall is still nothing but G-bodies. That used to be one of my main collects. Now it's kind of a side collect. Still love the G-bodies. I have an 87 Olds 442 in the States. So yeah, I have a passion for the 80s G-body cars. Actually 78 to 88 was the G-body platform for the BOP and Chevy. So yeah, I really love those cars. And they're actually pretty hard to find in the States. The castings of some of the older ones here, they're hard to find, but they're not so popular. So when you do find them, they're not so expensive, which is nice. So here you could see pretty much the first 2 rolls on the bottom shelf, or on the shelf floor, are all chase cars. Ultra Red, Super Treasure Hunts, the Dan Weldon, like just regular chase car in the main line back in 2011. It was released. Some Green Machines, Raw Green Machines, Green Will Green Machines, Super Treasure Hunts. Then also some Phil's Garage chase pieces with the signature on the bottom from the box set from Walmart. Then on the third row, you have a bunch of Mopars, as expected. Over here, some race cars and some more Mopars. And even on the side here, I think it's predominantly Mopar with some Chevy race cars, factory or dealership supercars, which is another thing I have passion for. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the third shelf. It's kind of a mixture of things where it starts going from the chase back into regular stuff, and like my side collects things. But yeah, the top shelf is solely dedicated to race cars. Second shelf is solely dedicated to your chase pieces, and then the third shelf is kind of a mixture. Same thing with the fourth shelf. It's kind of a mixture of stuff. And mixture of scales. I do pick up the occasional 1/43rd piece, as you've seen the 270 B-bodies in my videos before when I was doing the 70 Plymouth B-body video. Then there's some Chevys, the Chevelles from Matchbox yesteryear, Camaro from Fast and Furious Green Light, the Blazer from Matchbox yesteryear, which is a pretty nice piece. That's like one of my favorite 1/43rds. Then a Yanko exclusive for a hobby shop from Johnny Lightning. I forget which hobby shop that was from, but it's a harder to find piece. I don't have it hanging on the wall because it never hit a J-hook, and they don't make a Protecto pack. Well, they do, but I don't have access to them here, so I just popped it in the display case, because that's one I don't really want to open, just because of the card art helps make that piece. As I said, some stuff, the card art makes the car, so it's hard to open it. And if I do, sometimes I repackage it because the card art is so cool, or I'll buy two if it's available. Then there is my Team Brie, with all four iconic numbers from Brock Racing Enterprises. Number 35, 68, 85, and 46. To me, the most iconic is 85 and 46, but 35 and 68 is also pretty well known. Then you have another ramp back green light truck with Mike Zarnock, the Hot Wheel guys, altered on the back. Except Mike's, in reality, I think was based on a 27T. This is based on a Bantam, but still yet pretty close. Then you have the history of like rear engine dragsters, where they had the enclosed front wheels. Then you have the one that kind of lived through the late 70s all the way through the 90s, and now they're kind of making a pod for the driver and things like that, so a little more aerodynamic. And I have those actually in the back. You can see the Matco Tools and Papa John's. Then there are a couple of 1/24th cars here. The one is the Danbury Mint Charger 500, and then the other is a Grand National model kit, scale model kit that I put together a couple years back, which I will be showing that someday in one of my videos, because I know I subscribe to a lot of you guys that do scale models. I'm really into the scale models too. So yeah, that's something that I will be showing you later on in a video. So this is pretty much the display case, guys. This is how I house most of my loose stuff. Now, I do have a couple of shelves on the other side of the room where I put a lot of my loose stuff just on the shelf. I have a little section on a desk for my trucks, so you didn't see many trucks in here. Like, the only Chase M2 square body I have in here is the one that came with the C60, because there's no way to put it back in the package. So anyways, I just didn't put those in here because they're nice to put them back in the packages and display them that way. That, unfortunately, I couldn't do it with this guy. But yeah, I have a bunch of other Chase cars that are not in the case. And probably won't be because there's no room, and also, as I said, a lot of stuff looks good in the packages. I still like opening stuff to take pictures of it and look at it and things like this, but I will sometimes put it back in the package to display it, because, as I said, I'm running out of shelf space. So eventually I'm probably going to have to start putting stuff in boxes, but I try to avoid that at all costs. Right now I don't have anything in boxes except for doubles of cars that I've bought just to have a couple extras of. So, yeah, this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Monday, I'll be doing a video on the F-Case Fast and Furious cars. I'll be opening all of those. They're all JDM cars, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. It's the newest case that I got my hands on, so I'll be opening that and reviewing it with you guys. So, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, remember to do so, and please like and share the video. And I will talk to you guys on Monday. Thanks for watching.